This time my coffee is warm. Not hot, but warm. And yes, it is a Christmas mug. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Art Like Carte and to my studio. And it is getting close to the end of October. In fact, I think when I upload this video, it'll be Halloween, which is the last day of Inktober. I feel I should do a little dance. I'm too exhausted to dance. If you guys are like me, you might be finding it a bit challenging to get through the last few days, weeks, the month of Inktober. Maybe you've been able to do a drawing every single day and are right on schedule. Or you could be like me and have a few days that I still have to get done. Does this mean that you failed at Inktober? Remembering that Inktober is a personal challenge. As long as you're trying and pushing yourself in this challenge, I feel that Inktober is a success. But in saying that, I do want to finish Inktober, which will mean a push through for the last couple of pictures. I find one way to help me get through this last little bit of struggle to change up my art method, whether using different art supplies or getting new art supplies, can really help make a difference. And that's why I was so excited to open up this month's Smart Art box, because it's Inktober themed. So before we jump into this box to see what goodies they sent, I want to give a big thanks to Smart Art Box for sponsoring this video and for helping me to create some fun arty videos. If you don't know what the Smart Art Box is, it's a monthly art experience subscription box. Definitely not a way to get cheap art supplies easy, but if you're looking for new ideas or new art mediums to try out, then the Smart Art Box might be something you'd be interested in looking into. This month was themed Inktober, so all the goodies are inking related, which I found super relevant to this month. The first thing that they had in the box was this Aqua Wash brush pen. It's kind of like a water brush, but instead of water inside, it's ink. Now you won't see me using this in the demo because I couldn't figure out how to get it working. It wasn't until after I recorded the video that I realized the instructions on how to start working it were on the back of the packaging. It's really easy. You just remove that little red ring and it works fine. Unfortunately, I was having an art brain and didn't figure that out. The next one is a zebra brush pen, which I have to tell you might be my new favorite thing. I've seen artists use this pen before and I've been wanting to try it out for so long and was over the moon when I found out that it was in this month's box. Also is a Jelly Roll white pen, which I have a bazillion of, but it's always nice to have another. Then there was a collection of different types of ink. The first one was an Aqua Ink Graphics in the color of magenta, and then a nice kind of bluish teal under the title of Petrol, which I think is my favorite color of all. Along with that is a giant glass bottle of ink. It's 1 fluid ounce, and I'm excited to try this out. Also included was a watercolor Princeton brush, which worked beautifully. In this box, they also included a sketchbook, which for those of you who know me, know that I am just a little bit of a sketchbookaholic. I love sketchbooks, and while I don't use this sketchbook, I will use it later on. The reason why is because I have a sketchbook that I am currently putting all my Inktober's in, and I wanted to put this one in as well. Jake Parker has put out daily prompts, and I'm trying to be as faithful as possible to follow these prompts each day. So the one I'm working on today is prickly, and the only thing I could think of at the beginning of this was like a hedgehog, and so I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do. I didn't want to just draw a hedgehog, which I probably should have just done that, but instead I did a sketch of a hedgehog fairy. And so it's a fairy that has a cloak, and the cloak is kind of like prickly, like a hedgehog. So that was what I came up with a theme. I was not super creative that day for theme ideas, but I think the sketch turned out pretty good. So now it is time to officially begin using this zebra brush pen, which I can see why some of my art friends love the Zebra brand. It was fantastic. When I first saw it, I thought, that's not a very fine point. Probably not going to get a fine line, but I was so wrong. This brush is like painting with butter. If you have really light pressure, you can get a super thin line. And with just a little bit of pressure, it can thicken it out. But it's really easy to manage the thick thin line effect. Some brush pens that I've used are just kind of wild and crazy and take a lot to get used to, and this one didn't. I mean, I just jumped right into this. Usually before I start a nice piece, if I'm using brand new art supplies, I will test them out beforehand to see how they work. And I was too excited to start doing this drawing, and I didn't test out anything, which when I get into the actual colored inks will make itself apparent. But with the zebra brush pen, it just was amazing to use. The problem I had with the actual pigmented inks was the compatibility to my actual sketchbook paper. It's not the highest quality sketchbook that I own, and because it's kind of a water-based ink, it really absorbed into the paper quickly, and I knew that if I worked it too much, I was going to start rolling the paper and kind of digging through it. So I could lay down only one layer, and I had to let it dry before I could do any touch-ups or go over it. It also soaked up the ink so fast. So probably if I had used the mixed media paper that Smart Art had sent in their sketchbook, things would have worked a lot better. So lesson learned. Moving on to the black ink. Ooh, this stuff was amazing. It was super thick and did not have an obnoxious smell. Some of my black Indian inks really stink. They're like rotten egg smelling and gross. But this one had no odor at all, and the black was super pigmented, and mixing it with a little bit of water, I got a really nice gradient effect. The last art supply to use was the jelly roll, and it worked exactly like all my other jelly rolls worked, which is pretty good. It's not my favorite white ink gel pen, but it's kind of like the trusty old standby. I seriously think that this pen might be my new favorite inking pen. I have to go online and see where I can purchase more of these because they're awesome. While Inktober is coming to a close, don't worry because there are many more art challenges coming up for November. I'm actually going to be doing not one, but 2 monthly art challenges next month. So it's like double Inktober. So if you enjoy watching me do art challenges, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you won't miss any future videos coming up. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you in another art video. Bye-bye!